Well, he's here with us in the studio. Denzel Bentley, Ntim Mensah, or simply Too Sharp. How are you, sir? Good evening.
Thank you, and yourself?
Very good indeed. Yes. Having bungled your name twice before you got in the studio.
Three times.
No, it wasn't. It was twice. But don't you start.
I'm sure it's 3 times.
Look, it's great to have you here. You were on the show with us before you fought Janibek Alim Kanuli, with great honour and grace in Las Vegas last November for the WBO middleweight title. First of all, talk to us about that. Look back on it. Where are you now? We know you're fighting at the Copper Box very soon. We'll talk about that in a minute. Yeah. But look back on that world title attempt that came suddenly. You were ready. Yeah. You went for it. Yeah. And you lost on points. But what did you learn?
I learned quite a bit by myself. You know, I learned that I'm at that level because all my career I've actually wanted to know what's it like being at that level. Do you know what I mean? And I finally got there. I didn't get to conquer that level, but I got to compete very well at that level, and I showed, you know, I'm good there. Yeah,
you proved that you belong there actually against Janibek. That was a fight that you went over there as a huge underdog. Didn't know if you could compete at that level. Yeah. You know, you've had like the Felix Cash loss when you go back to like 2020, 21 was it? Yeah. So you go back there and you look at how you've improved. Like, you know, sometimes a loss can do a fight a world of good, and you seem to have went back to the drawing board and you improved. You got a few wins and you got a world title shot, and a fight is going into the unknown really, because people were like, I don't know if Denzel can compete at this level. You know, this guy is like, he's got a massive reputation. And you went out there, I've got to say, mate, you pushed it and you grinded it, and like in the 12th round you were still having it, standing there, trading blow for blow. I was impressed with that. I did, like, your stock rose for me from that loss, if I'm totally honest. You proved that you're better than British level.
Yeah, no, thank you. I appreciate that. And that was the aim, really. Well, the aim was to win it, in fact. But I've always believed in myself. Anyone that speaks to me, they get the same thing out of me. I believe I can be a world champion. And I actually believe that was my moment. I don't go in the ring with any fear. I'm not worried about who I'm fighting. I don't try to pick and choose fights and swerve here and there. I'm going straight in it head on. So that's the type of guy I am. So going into that fight, I watched Janibek and I thought, I can beat this guy. Do you know what I mean? I just started off a bit too slow. I wanted to get a gauge of what he was like, his power, little tricks he does. I just took too long to kind of, you know, realise it and then, you know, pick up the pace. But you
started believing in yourself a little too late. It was like you'd gone in there and then you're thinking, right, let me see what this kid's like. And then you started growing in confidence. And in the end, like I say, 12th round, I was watching it today and I'm like, yeah, he's chucking it, he's having it. You know, and it was like, that your stock rose massively. I think, like, in many ways, you did come out a victor in that fight because of you proved that you was a level much better than people give you credit for.
Yeah, I didn't realise that until, you know, I got back home and you know, saw all the feedback from everyone. So I was like, okay, you know what, not too bad. But I obviously, of course, as soon as the thing was announced, I thought scorecards are a bit wide. They didn't really give me credit for the work I was doing. And like you said, the confidence grew a bit late. But in the first 4, I'm thinking, you're not hitting me, so haha, do you know what I mean? But it's like, I'm not hitting you neither. You're just closing the ring, making me look like I'm running away. But yeah, the fight ended how it ended. So.
Yeah, I mean, I think going into that fight, he had 8 knockouts from his 12 wins, I think it was.
Yeah, I think so.
And you know, obviously, you showed just how tough you are. 16-12, 16-12, 18, 18-10, 118, 110 was very unfair, I thought, on the scoring. 16-12 indicates 8 rounds to 4. It looked a little bit closer than that, to be fair, but since you've come back, what are you taking, apart from I know I'm at that level, what are you planning strategically in your mind? Where have you gone to in yourself to think about how you get there again, other than just winning fights to get there?
Yeah, just, you know, no stone left unturned, just same kind of mentality, fear no man, and, you know, just make sure when you're going into the ring, I'm the dominant one. It's me that people have to worry about, not me trying to figure out, you know, who's across the ring from me and let me see what they got. You got to worry about what I've got. I'm the guy now. I'm stepping in the ring and it's like, worry about me. So I'm just trying to train my mindset in sparring, and in sparring I'm going in there and I'm trying to I'm working on certain things. I'm working on little things. I'm realising little tricks that Janibek was doing as I'm thinking back and watching it, and I'm trying it in the ring and I'm like, okay, this works, or maybe this don't. I'm not trying to be him, but there was things he was doing that was working that, you know, I could probably take and add to my game. So why not?
You're 28, Denzel.
Yeah.
You've only been boxing as a pro, what, 6 years?
5. It'd be 6 years this October.
Yeah. Tell us about your life. You know, What were you doing before you came to boxing? What was going on in your life? What brought you to boxing?
I love that smile on your face. You got a big smile on your face.
It's a big story here.
Yeah,
big story coming up.
You know, I was playing football and I stopped playing football at 16. I thought I was too old because I hadn't joined an academy team at that time. Crazy, I don't know why.
Where?
I was just playing Saturday League football. I had a few trial games with a few teams like Leyton Orient, Southend, and I didn't get picked by none of them. So I thought, all right, let's forget it. Then obviously,
but you
at
loved
16,
your football, did you?
Yeah, I did. I actually did. But I just thought at 16 I was getting old, and I don't know why I felt like that. It's crazy to me. But yeah, I just got a job. I was working at Sainsbury's. I was there for like 5 years, and then whilst I was at Sainsbury's is when I started boxing. I was at university as well, to be honest. But then I felt like I was doing too much. I'm doing uni. I'm at Sainsbury's. I'm trying to box. I was trying to juggle too much. So
what are you studying at uni?
I was studying sports science.
Okay.
Yeah, sports science. But then I asked my lecturer, oh, what can I do with this? Like, what's the job opportunities after? And when they told me, I was like, yeah, I don't want to be none of them. So I dropped out of uni, carried on working weekends because I didn't want it to take time away from boxing. So working weekends, boxing Monday to Friday. And then, yeah, just carried on from there and then turned professional eventually. And I'm here today.
I mean, yeah, you know, a lot of people that turn professional, they start at a very young age. They're dedicated from a very young age. They're not sort of dipping their toe in and out of it. I mean, really, you've still got a lot of development to come. And I think that you look at your career and, you know, sort of how you've gone through your career and you go back to, like, 2020 with a draw with Mark Heffron.
Yeah.
And then, like, losing to Felix Cash. And then, like, you know, your development, you had a few wins after that before boxing for the world title. And the improvements are there all the time. You know, some fighters you look at and you go, they're sort of like the complete article.
Yeah.
But you seem to be still very much on the improving side of things, which is a good thing for you.
Yeah, no, most definitely. I'm always willing to learn. I'm always in the gym and I'm watching other fighters sparring and I'm just always trying to steal moves from people, always listening to what my coaches are saying, and I'm always watching boxing, watching legend, like old school fighters from back in the day. And I started late, so I had to make sure that I was going to be 100% on it if I was going to do it. I had 17 amateur fights, my first fight at 19, turned professional at 22.
Wow.
So you could see I had to really step on it and be like, you know what, let me just soak up everything I can rather than try and dibble-dabble in it.
I'm thinking Curtis Woodhouse here. You know Curtis?
Yeah.
Obviously, he was the first £1 million footballer, Birmingham City, was it? Birmingham.
Yeah.
I think he played Birmingham City. He got £1 million to go there. And he took up boxing and he wanted to become a British champion or a world champion. Were you always having fights on the football pitch or not? It's
funny because if my team got into any sort of madness, it was always me stepping up. So I think one time I won Manager's Player of the Year because it's always me, just like always backing my teammates. Like, nah, you're not talking to him like that.
Are you midfield with an engine up and down?
That's exactly what I was.
Non-stop.
Yeah. 20 goals a season at Lampard.
Nice.
So do you think that there was an aspect of you even growing up where, like you said, even when you were a little kid, obviously the football came first. You started playing football. Was there a sense in you that boxing, combat sports was there for you or not?
No, never.
Not really even a sense of it?
I didn't even watch boxing.
No.
Wow.
No, I didn't watch boxing. I think the first fight I ever watched was with my uncle. It was David Haye and Klitschko.
Oh, right.
And I wasn't really interested in it.
2012, I think that was.
Yeah, it might have been, yeah.
Are you a Mayweather fan?
100%.
I can see it in the start. That's why I said it. You love the old shoulder roll and all that. So I was looking back at a lot of your fights today. Actually, I was going through them all and I'm saying, I can see that you study boxing. You're a student of the game because you can tell that in your style, the way you're rolling your shoulder, getting yourself out. You've done it against Ennebeck actually a few times, and that got you out of a lot of trouble. You've sort of like starting to master it. You know, when you look back at your early days and see, that's what I say. I'm looking at like the sort of like the technical side of things and how you're developing. And mate, honestly, you're improving all the time. It's good stuff.
So you're watching. Brilliant stuff from Spencer. He's been talking about you since we got in the office tonight. But the thing is, you watch that fight early on. You don't really take an interest in boxing. You see David Haye against Klitschko the night that David's toe and Klitschko leaning on. It was a terrible night in Munich. It was raining.
It was Munich. Hamburg.
It rained all night.
Yeah.
Terrible night being there.
Yeah.
And obviously it was a weird fight, but potted then through the next few years. Did you find yourself watching any boxing at all?
Yeah.
When did it actually start? When did it click? How did you get in the gym?
So at 15, my brother, he entrepreneur type vibes. So like he went out to to 9 Elms Market, bought a set of gloves and a headset, and we all just used to stick it on and fight each other in the estate. Do you know what I mean? Like, so we'd go to one block, we'd pop the block,
just
go
outside,
in there. Yeah, just outside. We'd find the block, pop the door, go in there, everyone's crowded around, have a fight, sick. Then we go to the park or whatever. So we were doing that for a while. Then when I got to college, I met a friend that boxed. And I'm like, I can box, because I've been doing a little bit of with my brother and that outside and stuff. So he took me to the gym. We went down to Fisher, ABC. And I remember I got battered by someone that was like 30 kilos lighter than me. And I thought to myself, nah, there's no way. Like, 'cause I'm just thinking his size. I'm like, nah, he's so small. Like, how did he beat me up? And he's sticking out his tongue at me in the ring. I'm saying, cool, I need to come back and make sure I get you back. Didn't end up sparring him again, but I just made sure I kept going back. I wanted to get better. And
got addicted to wanting to know the skills.
Yeah, exactly.
It's such a familiar story, though, isn't it? With people that go on and become really good boxers, they go into the gym and they get beaten up by a little small fella. It happens all the time, though, doesn't it? You get put in. It's like trainers go, right, well, yeah, we'll put him in. We'll see if this kid can fight.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
They don't want to waste their time, do they? They go, let's see if this kid comes back, and they do it. They do it down Finchley all the time. Go stick him in with a little fella that can really fight. And the big fella gets in there and thinks, I'm going to have this little fella,
Can't
and just
touch
gets
him.
bashed up.
And
that determines, though, Gareth, whether they want to come. Because when you're going to be a fighter, it happened to me when I was when I was young. You got bashed up and you go, right, I'm going to have him. But a lot of people, 99% of people go, nah, not for me. Don't fancy this. You know, I mean, that little geezer just beat me up. But
it was for you.
Yeah, definitely. It was for me. It was for me. 100%. I remember when I came out of the ring, the coach at the time, Steve Hauser, was just smiling like, let's see if you come back, boy. And I did.
Nice.